This is going to be fun. Well, it's going to be fun for you, but it's going to be nerve-wracking for me. My name is Valérie Gagné. You can call me Stella. I'm French-Canadian. I live right across the border from Vermont, about like 30 minutes away, and I'm an equine behavior specialist. I have studied and continue to study equine ethology, the science of horse behavior. I bring you research from France, from England, from Germany, and North America, of course. What I do is applied science. So what does the research say? And then what do we do when we're actually with the horse? The crux of my work really is about bringing the horses back to relaxation and presence of mind. Sometimes it's a big therapy in movement where there's trauma. And sometimes it's akin to any type of horse training that you may find, except with methods that absolutely respect the horse's well-being, mental well-being, of course, physical well-being as well. What are you going to learn in this course? Well, through videos and scientific explanations made simple and accessible and practical, you will learn how to do real desensitizing. Why do I say real desensitizing? Well, according to science, most of the stuff that we see out there on YouTube for desensitizing, you know, with that famous plastic bag, is actually a method called flooding. And it floods the horse's nervous system and actually doesn't put him in a learning state of mind. So you will be learning about the horse's different psychological states, the horse's different emotions, and the horse's nervous system, but also, and more specifically, about how to do various desensitizing exercises in various contexts with various difficulties. An unconfident horse, a spooky horse, a young horse you're starting, or an old horse that you're trying to bring back from trauma. This is the training. I'll present situations that we always experience while training or just living with horses. You know, fear of this and that, fear of different objects, fear of different situations, fear of different places, fear of different sensations, the horse that's hard to catch, the horse that's buddy sour, the horse who refuses to be touched, the horse who's really afraid of the fly spray, the horse who's meow to you too, the horse that refused to accept the barn cat. No, I don't have anything for that. Well, yeah, you could absolutely apply the method for it too. In fact, the method can be applied to everything. I have no doubt that this training that I put together for you will be powerful no matter where you're at with your horsemanship. Whether you're a beginner with horses or whether you're a coach and a trainer, you will get something precious out of this because it reaps all the gold nuggets from science and it brings them to you in a practical way with your horse on the ground. This is a unique offer, and there is no doubt in my mind that you're going to get a ton out of this training. Whether you're already a coach and a trainer, or you're brand new to horses, or you've had horses all your life and just need to further your education and are wondering what's going on out there in terms of research, this is for you. This course is not just about horse desensitizing. I mean, it just takes this main subject but also tags along a lot of other concepts and savoir-faire, as we say in French, and know-how and techniques and methods. This training also presents all of the different stages of the horse's stress and micro expressions of stress. Just like that FBI guy who can look at somebody and like know if they're scratching their noses, if they're happy or sad, or if they look to the left while they said something that they were lying, or if they look down, they were recollecting, or I mean, I'm not sure what the signs are for humans, but I know what the signs are for horses. And so we break down all the different micro expressions of stress so that we can do real desensitizing while respecting the horse's psychological threshold. You know, that infamous threshold or psychological limit comfort or psychological window of comfort. This is what is at stake here. We want the horse's mind. We want the horse to be completely confident, focused on the task, softly looking around, confident, looking at environments, looking at different places, being in different situations, exploring objects, and allowing different sensations on their bodies, like the shower and the fly spray and the human and the saddle. So we are looking at different circumstances in which in a practical manner, in which the horse shows us how they are uncomfortable and how we can respect their comfort, meanwhile pushing that threshold limit, pushing the horse just enough so that the line was here, the stress line was here before, but now there is no longer a stress line for the horse. Horse psychology is about seeing the world from the horse's perspective. And equine ethology tells us a whole lot about how horses learn and how about they don't learn. They tell us a lot about how the horse sees the world. For example, the horse's eyes don't see contrast as well as we do. So when that horse is hesitating coming in or leaving the barn, it's because their eyes are not adjusting to the light as fast as ours are. In the first chapters, we will look at the real scientific definition of desensitizing. What we see mostly online is actually flooding. That thing with the plastic bag where the horse can't get away and just ends up not moving, that's actually scientifically called flooding. So we will look at what real desensitizing is. We will look at the horse's different psychological states, aka emotions. We will look at the horse's different levels of stress and the micro expressions that correspond to each. We will learn to read the horse's postural language. And I know that I'm going to bring you a ton of nuggets that are going to start to transform the way you see your horse and what your horse is telling you. But also, technically and practically, how our gestures, our stance, our energy, how we use our eyes, how this also has an impact on the horse. And I've got, through the years, through working with hundreds of different horses, I've gotten a lot of really good tricks that seem to work for all of them. And they're simple, but they're so efficient. I know for a fact that you'll be surprised. I'm bringing stuff to the horse world that is a little bit unknown. Like I do a lot of herd work. I'd like some points for that. It's a tough one for a French Canadian. Herd work. I do herd work. I do work with the herd where I am doing relaxation techniques with 10 horses at a time. But this is like action based. It's not massage based. I don't touch the horses most of the time, and they're just it's through movement, because trauma and stress is located in the body. It needs to be released through the body. So I do a lot of different things like that. This is not part of the training, but you'll get a sense of where this can go in terms of working with an entire herd. There's a bunch of stuff also that is surprising, is that horses that we think can't never be together and coexist can actually absolutely become buddies. So through helping to release the stress, and I mean release the stress, I'm talking like it's the difference between like you're a little stressed at work and you take a week vacation versus like you start a meditation practice where every day, twice a day, you meditate for an hour and you work and you eat perfectly. And you sleep perfectly, and then all of a sudden you transform into somebody who's able to like handle any situation with calm without freezing or fighting or fleeing. So this is basically my work. The horse transforms. And as you can tell, I'm a very intense person, so I don't do anything because it's like fun or interesting or like, you know, I do things because they matter, because they're powerful, because they're important. And this is an example of that. This training is an example of how powerful a transformation we can bring about when we understand the horse's psychology, and we can and we start the conversation with our horse, and really bring their minds. This is what we want. If we want the legs with us, if we want the body, we need to first get the mind. We need to get the mind to see what's going on, approve of it, be aware, breathe, so that the body can use itself well. And this is where you get that relaxation, and this is where you get that horse who can deploy fully its ability, its movement ability, and also connect, right? So in order to get connection, we need to get the mind. And how do you get a horse's mind? Well, research tells us about the horse's nervous system, and about the horse's stress levels, and about the horse's needs for sleep, and about how the horse learns. And so this is what I bring to the table, and I have no doubt that this training is for everyone who owns a horse, everyone who connects with horses on a regular basis. It's fascinating. Science has been amazing, but it's not been amazing at bringing this to us on the ground, on the field with our horses. And this has been my mandate, is to take from science and study, and then figure out how we can apply those principles, and how anyone who can apply those principles without being a genius, or without being with horses their whole life, or without. So this is my work. Welcome to Horse Psychology. This is science-based horsemanship. This is trauma-informed horsemanship. This is the new era of human-horse relationship. Welcome to Horse Psychology with Stoa.